everyone, this is Carolynne from NonnasNuttykrafts. I'm in Cassidy's room, which we've used as a baby's room and stuff. And I'm sitting on the floor because what I'm going to show you what I've been working on, and I'm going to take you step by step through it, is an 18-foot garland. Yes, 18 feet. It's a lot of work. So I've been working on it for the past, I don't know, a couple of hours now, putting it together. And let me turn this off. And let me find you here so I can make sure I see comments because I have it flipped around. So there's nothing that's going to be where you're going to see words backwards or anything like that, which is a good thing for that reason. I'm going to try to see my comments there because and I'll have the iPad as well. But if I miss a comment, just ask again, okay? Because it's kind of crazy. All right, so let's get started. What are we going to need for this? A lot of ribbon. So I've used these 3 ribbons in this garland. I have used these 4 ribbons in this garland as well. I have zip ties, I have pipe cleaners, all kinds of goodies. So I'm going to take you step by step of what I've been working on this. I didn't think you guys wanted to watch me do an 18-foot garland. This isn't something that's going to have a lot of foo-foo stuff in it or anything like that. This is going to go over a window trimming inside a bedroom. So, and it's bee themed. So let me tell you what I got. The garland, I got 3 of them. They're 6 feet each. They came from Micheals. They're called the daisy garland. And I know I had an extra flower up here because I have to find out where it went. So this is the garland as far as the flowers go, if you wanted to look that up. Ooh, pins over here. Sorry. So what I did, I attached the garland with just wire so I can make it one long piece. So this is the garland. The flowers are kind of on each side of the mesh. The mesh is this one, which I forgot to get and show you. It's the poly mesh. This came from, I think, Hobby Lobby. I just wanted a yellow mesh. I didn't want anything fancy schmancy. This has a little bit of metallic or iridescent in it to give it a little shimmer in our window, but not like in your face. 4th of July, we're going a little bit bigger. So what I wanted was a garland that I could put this in, the 10-inch mesh, like kind of in the middle of the flowers. So the flowers would be in the sense of saying on either side. Now I got this upside down. This is the end. Okay. So that's what I wanted to do. Now when I started each end, I made like a poof on the end and I curled the end of it in and I just used these guys. So I had a bunch of these and I said, oh, this would be cute with this. I didn't need to use the whole long thing because we're just putting tails in them. So I cut them in half and I will get more for my money, so to speak, bang for your buck. All right. So now it's like, how many poofs do I need? How many rolls of mesh do I need? I used 1 roll, which was good. You could do 2 colors. I didn't want to put any black in this because I didn't want to make it to look so dark, you know, in it with the black. I wanted it to stay nice, light, and airy. So that's why I went with just the yellow mesh in there and nothing else. Okay. So what I did, I just kind of measured. And what I did, this has these little, I don't know if you can see little chains, and that's how it's connected. And I went about every 4 or 5 chains, and then I made a poof. And I did that all the way around. So technically, I have 24 poofs on this. 4 of those poofs are going to have bows. The rest of them have the tails. Now with the tails, this I got from Hardworking Mom when I went to her fall retreat in 2021. But I don't know if you can see it. Inspired Wreath, AC Inspired Wreath. Susan Flanagan is the one who makes these. And she makes them in different sizes. And it's I don't know what the word would be. Like PVC. It's like a hard plastic. And I love them for that reason. I wrote the inches. I think she might have put the inches on them. I can't remember. But this is from Hard Work when I went to the retreat. But if you go to hers, if you're in Hardworking Mom's design group, you'll be able to find this in there. Because find her, Susan is her name. And you can find these. Ask her about these. All right, so I bought 3 garlands. Had the flowers. Now the tails. I mixed up my bee tails because I wanted it to not be all the same. So I had this 2.5-inch bee tail, and I used this 1.5-inch check buffalo plaid like ribbon. I think I got this upside down. Yeah, I got it this way. It's kind of messed up because I'm sitting on the floor. Then I had this other green bee ribbon that I used, and the other one I used was this bee ribbon. So I used a combination of different ribbons in there just to make it fun. So I had to figure out, I have 24, so I have 10, and I'm using 3 ribbons. So there's going to be one that's going to be a little bit off. So where I did 7 and 7 up on the sides, then I took a break because that's hopefully where the bow is that I've measured right. And then the rest in between. So I could cheat. If it was supposed to be next to brown one with the big bees, I can make it a small bee and cheat it so that I can make it all work. Because I was running out of ribbon. So that's what I did for this whole thing, as you can see. I think it came out cute. I like the colors with it. Like I said, my ribbon tails are a little messed up now because I'm sitting on the floor with this big thing. All right, so now, and that's what I like I said, I use this to tie it in. Now the next thing is to make the bows. I wanted to make the 2 bottom bows different than the 2 that were on the top. So I used different types of ribbon there. So for the one on the bottom, we're using these. This is the bow. I made 1 bow of each, and I'm going to do the bows with you. I'm not going to attach the bows because I know they're going to get all messed up as it is. So it's better for me just to take it this way, and then I can attach them when I get to replace, kind of thing. So I have the green one. I have the polka dot. I added a new one in here, this white with the little bees, 1.5 inch. Then the yellow and black check. And then I had a little bit left of the other 2.5 inch just to make a little button there. So we're going to make that bow. I have a step stool here. So you can see how we're going to make the bow. And what I'm going to use for that is I'm going to use a zip tie and a pipe cleaner to tie it off. Let me bring this little piece. I've already cut this piece. The reason why these are the size that they are, these are what? Almost 8 inches, about 8 inches, because this is all I had left. And I wanted to use every bit of my ribbon up. So same with the green one. Now the green one, what I did, because I wanted to make 2 bows the same, I had cut this in half so I can make the other bow. And this is what I have left. So I folded it in half like this. This is not going to have long tails hanging down because I didn't want that. I just want a fun little bow. This is just going to have 1 loop going across. This is going to be 6 inches here to here. And you know, when you do it, I put it in here. I turn it halfway. I'm in my granddaughter's room, sitting on the floor, since I'm making this big garland. Oh, let me reverse this. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm ad-libbing because to do the garland in my craft room, my table isn't big enough. I only have a 4.5-foot table, so I'm sitting on the floor. So we're gonna go. I call this the X. Everybody may call it something that different, you know, on this, but I'm calling it the X bow. It's like a little funky bow. So what you do with this, you have a loop, a tail, a loop, a tail, and all you're doing is you're making it like an X. So the tails are across from the tails, the loop is across from the loop, and these are 6 inches. That's my base. Then I came with the polka dots. Now, some of this I got from Deco Exchange, this I got from Sims, this I got from Hardworking Mom. So I get my ribbon from wherever. You can use whatever combinations you want to do. It is up to you. All right, so let me cut. I'm dovetailing the edges here. Dovetailing means I cut it so it looks like a V. Now this one here, I think I went in at 5 inches. I have to look at my other bow. 5, 4, yeah. So this one, my tail is only going to be 5 inches here. Come 5 inches on this side for my loop. Half twist it. 5 inches here. Let me make this tail just a little bit longer on this side. Wasn't quite at the 5. And then my loop. Oh, I don't have to twist that one. So now I'm going to do this opposite. And I'll show you. Let me cut this so I can show you. Yeah, you don't get to see me create in this room. I don't think I've... Well, this used to be one of my craft ones, but it was too small because also the Wi-Fi didn't work right. It was always going on the fritz, so to speak. All right, so now what we're going to do with the bow here, take that off. So on the bottom, we have a tail. So on top of that one, we're going to put a loop. On the bottom, we have a loop here. We're going to put a tail on top. And the same concept on the other side here. Okay? So it's opposite to opposites, if you want to call it that. Yes, they do take up a lot. Hey, LaDonna. They do take it. Bailey! Wait, oh, Bailey, you're home from school. My granddaughter, Bailey Griffith, who's on here, got Golden Glove Award for her softball team in her middle school. She got Academic Achievement Award for having straight A's all year long. Considering she played on her school basketball team and a recreation basketball team, and she played on her school softball team and her recreation softball team. She kept up all A's. Proud of you, girlfriend. Proud of you. This tail is a little bit too long. All right, so that's what we're doing there. Let me wind up the bobbin. Oops. Yep. Because I have to pick the longest pin in the whole bunch. My next one's going to be this white bee. This came from Hardworking Mom. And now you don't have to dovetail these right at the beginning. I try to, because sometimes when I'm trying to go through the bow, I don't want to cut the loop. So that's why I do it that way. Now this is going to come back at 4 inches. So 4-inch tail. I usually go just a little bit past the 4 inches on the tails. Just because sometimes I pull them. I can always cut them, you know, a little bit later. You know, when I put the whole bow together. All right, doing the same thing. 1 loop, 1 tail. Dovetailing them. And again, opposite. So we have a, let me take that off. We have a tail with a loop on top. Now we're going to have a tail on top. And then the opposite on the other, where we have a loop. We have a tail. And this one's going to have a loop on top. And these are the bows that are going to go down at the bottom of the garland. Whoops, where's my pins? All right. I have a basket over here, so to speak. And this one's going to be the last one that we put on top here. There's my scissors. Oops. Got my zip ties, some over here, some over there. And this is going to be the same size. This is going to be at 4. I didn't want to take it any smaller, only because I have that small little ribbon going in the middle. So I wanted to keep this about the same size as the one that I just finished. we'll snip this one. Hello, welcome, welcome. And we'll do the same thing. So we have tail, loop, tail, loop. And then the opposites go opposite to opposite. Loop, tail, loop, tail. It's not a hard bow to make. All right, so this, like I said, was about 8 inches, what my leftover ribbon was from this. So I just have a little tail hanging out, and I'm just bringing this in just enough. Now the ones up top, the reason why I'm doing this, because this is going to have the pipe cleaner and the zip tie from behind, whereas the other ones that are at top, in the top corners, they're going to have this to tie it. So I'm not going to have that bow in the middle there, or the button bow in the middle, so to speak, with a little button, for that reason. Hello! Look at her waving. You're so funny. All right, so that ends that. Got a zip tie. It's an 8-inch zip tie. This is kind of thick. There's ones you can get that are thinner and longer, like 8-inch. Whatever you feel comfortable using. Can you use just a pipe cleaner wire? Sure can. It's up to you. And we're gonna have this come. I'm pulling it just enough to make it tight enough. Hold it between my 2 fingers like that. Roll it around. My pipe cleaner. Thread it through the back. Now this is, I don't have to worry so much as far as tails, that I got them caught on one side than the other because of the design. The tails are staying on top. That makes sense. Instead of all your tails being down at one side, I don't have to worry about that on this style bow. Try to make sure you can see a B in the middle there. That will curl out. There we go. And then when I have it where I want, just pull it as tight as you can. Cut it off. And then you have your bow. This is just so weird sitting on the floor doing this, y'all. Let me just say. Now, look at what happened. I got one loop that's bigger than the other. No problema. We'll just pull that through so that the loops are even. And let me cut this too. Is that tail the same? No, it's just a hair longer. It's just a hair longer. Just a hair. I'm gonna mess this all up again. So we're just gonna spread this out. Fix that loop. Oop, wrong way. Loop-de-loo. And because I have these 2 little tails here, what I try to do is bring like maybe one more towards the top, one towards the bottom a little bit. Usually if it's long enough, you can bring it all the way down facing the bottom. But since I'm not doing that style bow, I'm just bringing them out to fan them out a little bit. All right, so we have now our 2 bottom bows. 1, 2, yay! So let's make the top bow. This is gonna be what the top bow looks like. Same thing that we're doing, that we just did, but only bigger, bigger. So this one I got from Hobby Lobby. It's actually more like a polyester. I don't know if it tells you, if it ever tells you on this now. But I actually like it. I don't like to work with some polyester. I don't like to work with satins because they have a tendency just to not do very good. Oh yeah, girl. Let me just say, me sitting on the floor. Hello, my friend from Alaska. Sitting on the floor. I am sitting on a pillow. Literally. I have a rod in my back, so sitting on the floor alone hurts. And I've been sitting here for a while. I've changed my pillows quite a few times. All right, so let's do the same thing, but only just a little bit bigger. This is going to be 6-inch loops on either side. And we're going to do, what did I do? 2 loops on either side. See, because my ribbon's not on a table, it gets all wound around this. And sorry if you hear noises. I have the window open here. And then because we're doing 2 loops, we're going to put our tails in a different spot in this one. All right. So let's wind this up. Oh, let me cut my dovetail this too. Again, I've done for her in the past where I've had the tails hanging down. I think on the one that she has in there now it does. But again, I didn't want to do that. Each time I do it differently. So these tails, what we're going to do, wrong way. Let me show you. Gotta hold the bow. So what I did, I have a loop on either side and a tail in the middle. Same on the bottom. Loops on the side, tail in the middle. I'm doing it like that. So a little different than the other one. This is, I'm praying, guys. We're supposed to have a fence and they haven't come yet. And I keep hearing trucks and stuff outside. And I'm like, oh, is that them? All right, so we did 6-inch. This is going to be 5-inch. And this one we're doing the same thing, 2 loops. It sounds like they're here. They're here backing up. I'm waiting for the dogs to bark, because once the dogs bark, then I know that means somebody's here. It could be my neighbor next door. He comes home from school and he uses our driveway to back up his car. All right, so same thing. I forgot for the longest time that I had this. And a friend of mine reminded me about it because we bought it together and split it. Oh, I just bent my, oh, that's not good. I bent my pin. Oopsie. Try another one. Okay. And then the next one, I'm bringing in another new ribbon. Another not new, but this one. Hello, my friend. Welcome, welcome. If you guys like, share, follow, that would be great. I have YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Etsy. All right, this one, I came in to 4 inches on this one. What I'm using here, there are a ruler. So I come in, I always make my tail just a little bit past what I want. Just because of the, when I cut the V on the dovetailing, I don't want to, it cuts it down and you only see the little points. So that's why I come up just a little bit past that. Okay, oops. I'm looking at my other bow just to make sure I'm doing it the same way. What I hate is when you have to do multiple bows. And if you don't make them right away, like you make one and you stop and you go have dinner or something, and then you come back and it's like, oh, what size did I do that? I hear one dog barking. I'm praying I can get through this. All right, so same thing, splitting up the loops and the tails. see. And we'll stick the pin in here. Hello, how are you? And our last ribbon I bought in this, I figured we needed some stripes. We didn't have any stripes. We had plaids in here. We had honeycombs in here. So I decided on these top two bows that we would just do a stripe just to bring in that bee color, so to speak. And this one here, I did 3. I made my tails about 3.5. It's about 3.5 actually. On the loops on these. No, excuse me. The tail on these, the loops are at 3. The tail is 3.5. All right. And then we'll cut this. Now this one I only did 1 loop on either side. And then I just split it and I made it opposite. So I'll show you what I mean. Oops, don't crease on me, ribbon. All right. So on this last one, I just made an X. So I have a loop and a tail, loop and a tail. That's all I wanted. Again, this is gonna have this funky little thing coming up through the middle of it, almost like the wings. So I don't need to put a little button on it. And actually, I don't need to put, I don't need to put pipe cleaner behind it because it's the other pipe cleaner is going to come up through it. That's on the garland already. A little fancy little pipe cleaner. I think I got those at Craft Outlet, I think. So these are just going to come around. Just spread it out, make sure. Because sometimes your ribbon curls like this. See how it's curled like? So I want to make sure, just on the back, they lay flat the way I want them to lay. And it's usually just the bottom ones that kind of get like that. One of my dogs is at the door there. Here. And then pull it tight. Clip. And then we can fluff it out. But if you want to put the pipe cleaner in there to hold it, you can go right ahead. Hello, my friend. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Everybody that's watching, love having you. Just spread everything out. I usually work one side, then I go to the other. Who knows? That's just what I do. You can take these and the edges, if you want to curl them up so that they curl like that, they don't have to lay straight, flat out. You can do that as well. And that gives it, instead of being just flat like this one, you can just take it and curl it up, and it gives it just, on all of them, gives them a little dimension to them instead of laying flat. All right, so now we have our, I curled these, but I didn't curl the bottom, these tails. This one I did put the pipe cleaner in it, only because I knew I was going to be holding it up to show you. So we have our 2 top bows that are going to go up top. And we have our 2 bottom bows that are going to go on the bottom. So what I'll do is I'll attach, ooh, if I can reach behind me here, the bottom bows to show you. Let me move some of this stuff here that I created a mess on the floor. Look at this little handy little stool I got. A little step stool. Love it. Don't fall. Whoops. Let me reach over. So this is the bottom. And remember I said it has the little, this has the little doohickeys on it too, so I actually didn't need a pipe cleaner. I wasn't sure if it did or not. Let me take that pipe cleaner out. And I didn't need the button on this. I forgot. When you're making these things, sometimes you forget. And that's okay. Let me take that button out, because see if I can just pull it out. If not, when in doubt, cut it out, because I don't need it. If I can get one out, then the other will come right out. I like going to one side better than the other. Yay. Okay. Now that I rest up the bow. Oh, Lord, have mercy. All right. So you can see I left a poof on the bottom there. So I'm just going to stick this right in the middle here with my little tie. And just tie it a few times. And that covers up the zip tie. Hopefully I'm still in frame, because this is weird. I got the phone here. I have the iPad here, you know, to make sure. Comments are coming up here, then coming up on here. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, that goes on this side. So, all right. And so that would be, this is wrapped around my legs, of course. Let me give you a sneak peek on what this is going to look like. Let me fix a couple of these tails. Now there are 3 sets of tails as far as different in color. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. So there's the bow I just put on at the bottom, and see I got the little poof on the bottom there, and then there's the 3. I gotta look because I'm doing backwards. 1, 2, 3 different style of ribbons that I put in there. So I think it's cute. Now she has I have a lot of bee things. If you watched my live from last night, I did how I made a beehive. Check that out. There's also, and they're gonna I don't think I put the one from last night on YouTube yet, but go to my YouTube. You will see how I made the little beehive ornaments. This will be on there, and the beehive that I made last night. So you get to see a lot of things. All right, you guys. So I am going to say goodbye here from NonnasNuttykrafts, because I need to get up off the floor. It's crazy sitting on the floor here. I think it came out cute, and I think it's going to look really pretty in her window. And on the 1st of June is when I decorate. I always decorate her, redo her room on the 1st of every month. So once I do that, I'll be doing a live for that. So you'll get to see how it actually turns out when it's actually hung up. All right, you guys. Thanks for coming to NonnasNuttykrafts, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.